Okay, we're going to try again with episode 166 of Folks Talking Sports. And because it's a restart, I don't know if that's going to mean a new link for YouTube or anything like that, or for the platforms. I have no idea. So this may not be going out to anybody besides me, because I looked at it on YouTube and it's just spinning around. So if Miss Wanda or anybody's watching, let me know, because like I said, it's technology. And it says that more than one person is watching, so I wonder who that is. But anyhow, KP and Willie, y'all, can I hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as I said to Brother Gibson in text message about an hour ago, this won't be a long show, and it may be even shorter than we had originally planned because of the gremlins. So, anywho, one more time. Welcome to episode 166 of Folks Talking Sports. I am KG Chris Gardner. Queen Pulliams, how are you doing? One more time.
Doing good.
Brother Gibson, how are you doing, sir?
Phenomenal, sir.
He's still phenomenal, so that's good. That's excellent. Okay. I'm going to say this. Last week's show, episode 165, began with basically a somber note saying rest in peace to Lenny Wilkins. I'm going to, unfortunately, begin tonight's show, episode 166, on a somber note. Got the press release earlier today on someone. I'll just put it on the screen because I want to acknowledge this man, Chuck Sullivan. He was the communications person with the American Athletic Conference, and he passed away Saturday night, age 54. And I'm going to read part of what the conference sent out. The American Conference mourns the heartbreaking loss of Assistant Commissioner of Communications Chuck Sullivan, who passed away Saturday evening after a long battle with melanoma. He was 54 years old. After the Americans' reconstitution in 2013, he was promoted to Assistant Commissioner for Communications in January of 2015. And he has overseen the communications and external operations for the American and its 20 Division I sports. In addition to supporting the promotion of the American student athletes and sports, Sullivan supervised and mentored dozens of communications and external relations professionals over his time with the conference office and previously at the institution level. He is survived by his wife Renee and sons Ori and Owen. That's beginning of the second paragraph. After the Americans' reconstitution in 2013, Chuck was with the Big East since 2007. When it reconstituted to the American in 2013, that's when I met Chuck. So going back 12 plus years. And Chuck Sullivan was the person who credentialed little old Houston Roundball Review. Okay? Independent Houston Roundball Review. Approved me for football media days. Approved me for basketball media days. Me and my colleague, Jerry Lee Woodley, another independent person, made Jerry rest in peace. So I'm kind of having bookend passings of people close to me this year. Jerry passed away in January and Chuck passing away in November. So Chuck, you both of y'all know it's not easy for an independent outlet to get credentialed by a power conference, any conference. So thank you to Chuck for everything he did to me. And when I saw him at media days, I think the second time I was at a media day, he remembered me because he said, "Chris, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for being here." I was floored because I'm like, how do you remember me from? I'm not ESPN. I'm not the Chronicle. I'm this little old Houston Roundball Review. So when I read the release, I was surprised. I was stunned, hurt, because obviously I did not realize Chuck was battling melanoma. But I had kind of wondered how he was doing because I don't remember seeing him at the conference's football media day in July. And usually he's there emceeing and handling the questions, Q&A, and the panel discussions, everything like that. But I didn't ask other folks in the conference, is Chuck okay? I didn't bring it up. I didn't think about it. I didn't know, so I feel kind of bad about that. But I just wanted to share that, and so I'll put this on the screen because I forgot to do it while I was reading the info. But he was the one who arranged interviews with me and Mike Oresco, Commissioner Oresco. He arranged interviews for me, A.D. Moore, and Jerry with Commissioner Oresco. So one more time, little old us, small timers, interviewing commissioner of a conference. And, he didn't have to do that, but he did. He looked out for us. He helped us with interviews. He made sure we had what we needed at media days with press releases, everything. So I really thank him for that, because there are people still to this day who have not given me that respect or that, appreciation that Chuck did. So I just want to send my prayers to his friends and family, his wife, sons, and he was an excellent man. He was a very good communications person. He was a better person. So just want to say that. Chuck, may you rest in peace. KP, I don't know if you ran across Chuck at all. Well, I know you're in the Big Ten, so I don't know if you ran across Chuck at all back in his days with the Big East.
No, sir.
Okay, Brother Gibson, Queen Pulliams. Did y'all see the Coogs in Auburn today?
I did not.
Off and on.
Willie, you remember we talked about last Sunday, us, the three of us, about Kingston Flemings?
Mm-hmm.
Saying all the right things. I'm coming back for my sophomore year. All of that. Mm-hmm. First half for Kingston Flemings today against Auburn. 18 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 0 turnovers. Best player on the floor. Told my brothers in the group chat, he's one and done. He's gone. I don't care. He came back down to earth in the second half with 4 turnovers, but he still led the team in scoring with 22 points for the game. But KP and Willie, if he keeps playing, he puts up numbers like this, I don't see him coming back for his sophomore year, regardless of what he said publicly back in October. Just your thoughts on that.
I mean, I did see the shot he hit before half. But again, I wasn't watching it critically. I did see that, the team struggled with late game execution.
Yes.
So, but you never apologize for a win.
Yeah, they were indecisive. Kingston was, Milos Hussein was. So the freshman was, the senior was. Emmanuel was indecisive. Auburn scored the last 6 points of the game. Coogs finished the game without points in the last 3 minutes. But they got stops in the final seconds to win the game. So there's enough things for Coach Sampson to, all right, guys, yeah, we won, but we need to improve this area here. We need to do this, 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 and this. So it's a good game for Game 4 in November. What are both of y'all's thoughts on the top 25, top 10 matchups we've seen so far in college basketball on both sides, men's and women's?
I don't think I've watched any women's games.
Pourquoi?
Because I was watching college football.
Brother Gibson?
Same. Yeah, this is the sports equinox for me. So NFL, college football is 1 and 1A for me right now. So I haven't watched it at all.
That's why we have good balance. I don't watch football, pro or college. So I watch basketball. This is my time of the year. I'll flip it around and ask it this way. How about the notion of the top 10, top 5, top 25 teams scheduling each other? That idea as opposed to so many check games in November and December in previous years.
No, I mean, I think
Yeah,
it's good. It's good for the audience. I mean, teams mix. They mix. Let's just take Kansas for instance. You play in North Carolina. You You're about to play Duke in the Champions Classic, but you also play Princeton and I think Lehigh. So you have the mix in November of high quality competition and then other games.
Willie?
Second, taking Ohio State women for example, they beat Bellarmine 90-33 on Thursday night. I held them scoreless in the first quarter. I think that's the first time that's ever happened for an Ohio State women's opponent. And then conversely, they went to Hartford, Connecticut today and lost 100-68. So you do have that mix.
Yeah. It's a mix and it's a balance. UConn doesn't have to, but they schedule on women's side tougher teams in the non-conference because they don't have a lot of tough competition in the Big East. You know what? Let's talk about that. And it's not their fault. Okay, let me be clear. It is not Gino or Yema's fault. But the rest of the women's basketball teams in the Big East, they just have not, over the years, gotten better. And I'm not asking for them to be UConn B. But UConn in conference play, it's just like it was UConn in the American. They're not going to lose. UConn's toughest games are in November, December, and then the Elite Eight and the Final Four, 316, Elite Eight, etc. What will it take for the other teams in the Big East women's basketball to step up their game?
Resources.
Is it there? Do the administrations, do the Catholic schools care about women's basketball?
Can't speak for them. I don't know.
Will?
I mean, I would refer that question to you. That's your you're the savant in that area. So I would not know.
They haven't really for years. And when Notre Dame and Louisville left to go to the ACC, Notre Dame was the rival in the Big East in 16, 17, 18, whatever it was. And was beating UConn. And that was great for the conference. It was great for the sport. Louisville, I have so much respect for Jeff Walls. But Louisville against UConn, to me, and the results kind of speak for themselves as well. It's like Jeff Walls he's not even trying to be UConn. I'm not even sure how many games have been decided between those two teams have been in single digits. And I just, come on, Jeff Walls, you can be almost everybody else and competitive against everyone else but UConn. And that's the. But that's like I said, it's not Gino's fault. So in that sense, I wish Gino would lead the Big East. But their fans don't want that. Their fans love having SNY pregame and post-game shows on they can watch. They love seeing UConn women's teams, UConn beat up on the other teams in the Big East rather than face, well, I don't know. I was going to say Big 12 team, but that's not a whole lot better. It is better, but it's still not the same thing as facing South Carolina and Oklahoma and Tennessee and teams in the SEC. Hell, Notre Dame and Duke and Carolina and in the ACC. But that's where things are. Mr. Gibson,
Sir.
Michigan says we don't like this private capital deal. So, what say you about the team up north saying we don't like it? So, what y'all gonna do then? Y'all as
There's
the
still
big
gonna
team.
be a vote. There's still gonna be a vote. So that's fine. They can not like it. So they don't like it. Do not take one dime of the 140 million potential dollars in revenue because you don't like it.
Can you share your thoughts on Michigan not liking it?
I don't have an opinion. Whatever. They don't like it. That's their prerogative.
Do you think this will pass without a unanimous vote? You said yes?
It will.
What does that say ultimately?
I mean, it's hard to get anybody, any collective group of teams, individuals, whatever, to agree unanimously on anything.
True. But I mean, we're talking about one of the founding schools of the conference. Moving on without their.
They have reason. I'm sure they have reason. I mean, they don't have to go along to get along.
I mean, they don't really need the money long term.
Actually, they do. That athletic department has operated in the red for decades. So actually, they
keep losing Willy, popping in and out here. Say that again, Will.
I said actually they do need the resources because that athletic department has operated in the red for decades. So they really could benefit from the influx of additional dollars.
And yet they still seem like they're not in favor of the private capital deal. Do you understand or agree with their rationale, their logic, the reasoning behind saying no?
I agree. They have the right to their opinion, and that's perfectly fine. Whether I agree with it or not, I mean, it's their opinion and it's their right to feel that way.
Well, did the Browns play today?
They did play today. They're actually wrapping up post game right now. So if you see me keep doing this, that's what I'm doing. I didn't go today. Of course, I didn't go today, and 12 played. So, yeah. It was a day game after a night game. Buckeyes played last night. The league even helped me out with a 425 kick, but I have Cavs Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so I had to make a business decision. Like, yeah, I'm gonna sit this one out, and 12 played. So, yeah, they did play.
How did he do?
They lost. Browns lost 23-16. Dylan Gabriel was checked for a potential head injury at halftime and was ruled out with a concussion, and Shedeur Sanders played the second half.
And how did Shedeur do?
He was 4 of 16, but you saw some things where you're like, it can no longer be said he's just not ready to play. And if his receivers didn't help him. He threw a few that just went straight. If he dropped it in the bucket and just went straight through receivers' hands. Still a couple bad habits where you back up, trying to elude the rush, and you take a bad sack. But for him coming in at halftime cold, there was some positives there. There was enough to work with. And with him getting a full week of preparation, it'll be interesting to see what he can do next Sunday in Las Vegas against the Raiders. Hey, somebody say something about the Raiders game and Shedeur at one point.
I think that was you, Brother Gibson.
Last week?
Was it?
I think so, yeah. Once again, you got it right. You know your stuff. One of the reasons why you're part of FTS.
Nostradamus Gibson.
Yeah, so I mean, and it was interesting. It was just interesting to hear post game press conference comments, and we'll see how this week progresses, and hopefully he can get the first. And he did what he did today, the second half, with no first team reps, none, zero, not one. So if he has the opportunity with a full week of preparation, a full week of practice reps with the first team, it'll be interesting to see, how he can build on the time that he spent on the field today.
Two more things before we wrap it up on this edition of Folks Talking Sports. What are y'all's thoughts on the gambling problem in pro sports? And I'm saying pro sports because I'm not just saying in the NBA, in pro sports. Prop bets, all that kind of stuff.
It's inevitable.
Is the chicken coming home to roost?
Well, I mean, you can't get through a commercial break without seeing an ad for fill in the blank draft company. Half of the programming on sports channels, there is gambling show, segment, dedicated programming about bets. So, what do you expect?
Well,
you're promoting this.
And furthermore, to that point, some local sports regional networks are sponsored by blank betting company. So, are chickens coming on the roost? Absolutely. And I had a conversation with someone last week actually, as far as now, is that person really hurt when they sat out, or why did they sit out this game but not that game? And it's all valid at this point.
Sure.
Everything's on the table to be questioned.
And it always surprised me how the college conferences spun it, the PR, when they started providing injury reports stating it was for transparency purposes. It was for who? To make more informed decisions for who? Why do we care if running back X is probable with a hamstring injury? What do we do with that information?
And now in college athletics, you have to release a status report.
Right.
Yeah, and that is for what? Who benefits from that?
Right. And nobody said anything when LeBron James started cutting commercials with DraftKings.
So, it's strange to me, and now the NBA apparently is going to crack down more and really make sure guys are hurt, or crack down on the injury reports, making sure they're legit. How are you going to do that? How are you going to enforce that? How? What's the plan there? You're going to call the doctor and the trainer and say, yeah, we saw so-and-so on the list. Is he really hurt? Can we see his x-rays? Can we see the MRI? Can we see what are you going to do there?
HIPAA?
Right. That's what I've never understood about any of this. What about HIPAA?
So I just don't. The leagues got in bed with the gambling companies, and so as KP said, what did you expect was going to happen? And now with prop bets just flowing is like the next big thing for money. Well, as Will said, yeah, I might not play today, or I'm going to. Boy, my back is bothering me. So after that first time out, I'm going to tell coach to take me out. So take the under. on my 5 rebounds today.
Mm.
On my prediction bet. Yeah. Bet the under on the rebounds I got tonight. I'm not playing past the first quarter. Oh, really? I mean, so how are you going to stop that?
I was saying, well, I know we talk about pro sports, but in Ohio, Governor Mike DeWine has banned prop bets for college athletics.
And I think prop bets should be banned.
Yep.
Heck, I think the relationship between pro teams and betting companies, they need to get rid of it. Because, hey, the money, go find money from somewhere else. Because the look of impropriety, the look of doubt now, Will said it. We all think it. Is he or she really hurt? How do we know they're really hurt? They got a hamstring injury now? Really? Do they? Because I saw them play yesterday, look fine. Oh. So and of course, boy, that back injury, I guess the private plane they fly on, my back got real tight on the plane, so I'm not sure I'm going to play tomorrow. So, I mean, y'all made this decision. Y'all need to figure it out. Lastly, Nico Harrison. Should he have been fired this summer rather than during the season, start of the season? Or if at all?
When did the Addison family take over ownership?
When was it? I mean, he was in charge to approve the trade.
Right. But my point being, they were on board. They had to approve the trade. So
he's the fall guy.
Nico, yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Agreed. He is the fall guy.
Didn't know what we were doing in the league. We're going to blame this guy. Because the governors have to approve the trade, correct?
Yeah.
So, now I'm not saying Nico was picture perfect in any of this. However, he's the fall guy. He's the fuck guy.
Agreed. And it didn't help that the injuries, everybody else. But it also goes to show, because there were things about some of Nico's decisions regarding personnel, hires, and things like that within the Mavs organization that were questionable. But he had made up his mind that defense wins championships, that Anthony Davis would stay healthy, and he could help the Mavs more than Luka being out of shape. He made up his mind that he could not talk to Luka to get Luka in shape.
Didn't out of shape Luka get them to the finals the year before?
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
And AD hasn't been healthy, bless his heart. And it's not intentional. He's just got that cloud hanging over him, getting poked in the eye.
He's just fragile. Detached
retina, it's different things happen to him.
He got hurt the first game he played for the Mavericks after the trade.
Yeah. And he was giving Şengün the business at first half.
First half, yes.
And then Body said, no, that's enough. That's it. I think what did Mark Stein say? Out of the possible 75 games he's been with the Mavs, he's played in 30 or 40, something like that. Maybe more games with the Mavs, but I know he's going to play like 40 games with Dallas. Should the Mavs trade him? And who would want him?
That part. To who?
Is there another Nico out there? Would Joe Dumars want AD? I mean, fire Willie Green,
Yeah.
Didn't leave Willie much to work with. But anyway.
Right.
And Zion's injured. Zion for AD. Who says no?
Damaged goods for damaged goods.
Mm-hmm. Who says no?
Right. Yeah. That's a zero net right there. Like,
Well, both teams can spin it as a change of scenery could benefit both players.
this is the change of scenery for AD.
I mean, Zion's hurt with a hamstring again.
But the scenery just changed for AD. I mean, like it just like
Right.
hadn't even been a full year.
So are y'all saying that the Mavs should not trade AD
I don't
and
think
turn it
they
over to
can.
Cooper Flag? It's Cooper Flag's team now.
I don't think they can. And then this is year one of the 3-year 175 extension, correct?
Yeah, he's getting paid about $50 million, I think, 48 to 50 million per for the next couple.
They can't trade that. They can't.
Well,
They can. I mean, anything's possible, as KG would tell me. Anything is possible, but I don't see it.
and that will do it, everybody, for this edition. I'm not sure what worked and what didn't work. This first time I had to restart the show. That was a different one on me. So I don't know if the server issue was bad on the platforms. That was a new one. KP, I'm going to start with you. Anything changed for you regarding social media? No? All right. Brother Gibson.
Sir.
Let me see. The floor is yours. As soon as I can find it, there you go.
Appreciate you. Thank you, as always, for the opportunity. On social media as a cross stage, you can find me on IG and Threads at Will Knows Sports, Twitter, Will Gibson 7, Facebook, Will Knows.
And I am, of course, KG Chris Gardner of the Houston Round Ball Review. You can follow Folks Talking Sports on Instagram and Threads at Folks Talking Sports. That'll do it on this edition, this brief edition of episode 166 of Folks Talking Sports. The main thing I wanted to do, really, in addition to talking to my colleagues, KP and Will, was to acknowledge the passing of Chuck Sullivan and thank him for everything he did for me, A.D. Moore, and Jerry Lee Woodley Jr. Rest in peace, Chuck. Next Sunday is the beginning of Thanksgiving. So how are y'all looking for next Sunday for a show?
I think this will be good.
Okay.
Should be good. All right.
Yeah,
So we'll aim for a show again next Sunday. Thank you as always, once again, everyone. Apologize for the glitches. They were out of our control. We're going to try it again next Sunday for FTS episode 167. Wrapping it up. Since 1994, the Houston Round Ball Review. Local name, global perspective. Everyone, take care. Peace.